Good evening. Good evening. What's going on, folks? Welcome to another live edition of Carolina Panthers Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the YouTube. I'm your host for this evening, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody's been having a good week so far. Tonight, we are going to preview the Week 2 matchup as the Carolina Panthers hit the road for their first away game as they take on the New York ginormous big men, aka the New York Giants, who are currently 1-0. We're 0-1. So we got quite a bit to talk about with this matchup. Of course, we came really close in week 1, made a big comeback in the fourth quarter, but just wasn't enough. And speaking of comebacks, actually the New York Giants ended up coming back and defeating the Tennessee Titans by 1 point in week 1. So we got quite a bit to talk about. Something I do want to address. Two things I want to address before getting to this preview. 1 second. Okay. Two things I want to address and go ahead and get out of the way before I dive into this video, because, I don't want to keep dwelling on this, but I just gotta give my final say-so on this before jumping into this preview for tonight. And yes, it is in regards to the two botched, questionable calls on that final drive in the Cleveland game. Now, I know on Twitter, there's been a lot of clips and videos posted in detail of those two specific plays, close camera angles and all. And I'm going to just say this, starting with the roughing the passer call. I know there's been a lot of arguments back and forth about that call. Here's what I'm going to say in regards to that. Looking back at it a whole bunch of times, I've come to this conclusion. Now, the word is that roughing the passer, one of the things that is said is that it involves forcible contact to the head and neck of the quarterback. That counts as roughing the passer, along the lines of, late hit after a throw or tackling the quarterback and falling on top of them. Other examples. Looking at the replay of that Brian Burns hit, forcible contact to the head and neck, you can easily tell that was not forcible contact, being that Brian Burns reached out aiming for the ball, aiming for the quarterback's arm to knock said ball out or to cause him to fumble. Now, his arm may have grazed the helmet or made contact, but looking at Jacoby Brissett's reaction, I think it was partially a flop job from Jacoby Brissett. I think it was partially a flop job. I say that also plus the fact that Brian Burns bull rushed the offensive lineman into Jacoby Brissett as well. So it's not like he got a full-on shot or full-on contact straight up on the quarterback. He reached his arm out. So that's more reasoning that I believe that roughing the passer call was flat out bogus. All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. Secondly, the missed intentional grounding call. So, according to the rules, a quarterback cannot fake a spike and then spike the ball. That's constitutes as intentional grounding. One of the things. You cannot fake a spike and then immediately spike the ball. That is illegal, and that would result in intentional grounding. Now, two things. One, if you look closely, you could see that Jacoby Brissett glanced in Amari Cooper's direction, for the fake spike, thinking of going in that direction before, eventually spiking the ball right afterwards. So that's one thing to keep note of. And secondly, the referee, the flag was thrown and whatnot. The referee comes out, waves the flag off, says there's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback faked the spike and then spiked the ball. Literally, those were his words. That was the referee's words that came out of his mouth. There is no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback faked the spike, then spiked the ball. Now, being that he clearly said that, you mean to tell me there's no sort of statement afterwards, there's no sort of review, or even days after the game has already been done? Nobody's going to come forth, no senior referee or anything like that is, Mike Pereira, or nobody's going to come forward and be like, you know what? That's incorrect. That should have been intentional grounding. The referee made a big mistake. So that just says something. And the fact that it was in the final drive, 2 calls, 1 called and 1 missed call, it's kind of a big deal. It's a really big deal. But that's all I'm going to say about that. I done spoke my piece on that for the last time. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, anyway, let's get into this preview. So, Carolina Panthers, week 2, make their first road trip, first away game of the season, taking on the New York Giants, who are currently 1-0. Looking at the ESPN matchup predictor, it actually favors the Carolina Panthers. 58.3% favor Carolina, 41.2% favors the Giants, and a 0.5% chance of a tie. A couple of things to note with the injury report. So there's a couple of folks that are limited as of today. Taylor Moton was limited in practice today. Marquise Haynes Sr. didn't practice, dealing with a hip. Frankie Louvu, Brandon Smith were also limited today. Frankie Louvu with the shoulder, Brandon Smith with the thigh. And receiver, punt returner, kickoff returner, Andre Roberts has been put on injury reserve. So apparently he got put on injured reserve because of a knee injury. This is Andre Roberts. So he's going to be out for a while. So they say that Shi Smith, Chuba Hubbard, and Laviska Shenault Jr. are other options. It's looking like Shi Smith may be who comes in to take on punt returns. And then on kickoff returns, it looks like they could use a combination of Chuba Hubbard and Laviska Shenault Jr., as well as Shi Smith, somebody to consider. But it looks like Shi Smith may be the one that gets called on to start returning punts. And according to the article, they said that there's no immediate move to fill the roster spot. They did note that they released kicker Taylor Bertolet from the practice squad and brought back tight end Josh Babbitts. Josh Babbitts, who was there, in preseason as well, and I believe is an undrafted rookie, if I remember correctly. So yeah, that's kind of a blow. That's kind of a blow to special teams, but I think Shi Smith can definitely fill those shoes on special teams in the return game. So even though they're losing a veteran, I think Shi Smith can fill that role and do just fine. I truly believe that. Okay. But looking back at the injury report, there's definitely some concerns. I mean, Taylor Moton, we're going to need Taylor Moton. But they have Cameron Irving that could potentially start if Taylor Moton can't go. And they also have rookie Cade Mays, who has played multiple positions. And it was also said in the press conference earlier today from Matt Rule that we're going to have the same starting offensive line. And despite the botch snap exchanges between Baker Mayfield and Pat Elflein will remain the starting center. Now, personally, I don't know what's up with Bradley Bozeman, but I feel like, I don't know, y'all. I feel like Bradley Bozeman might not be 100%. Maybe it's me, but I feel like maybe he's not 100%. But, he's been practicing, so I really don't know. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know why Bradley Bozeman isn't being considered to start and replace Pat Elflein after that dramatic game. It's like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. But we got to deal with Pat Elflein for another game. Hopefully him and Baker Mayfield practiced and worked on the snap exchanges, and hopefully that won't be an issue, because there were like 4 or 5 in the Cleveland game alone, and that is not good. That is not good at all. So hopefully that gets fixed and addressed ASAP. It's going to depend on Marquise Haynes, who didn't practice. So they're saying that we could see a lot more Henry Anderson and rookie Amari Barno, which I would like to see Amari Barno get reps in. I felt like he had a good preseason. But yeah, so the D-line may be altered a little bit. Pat Elflein's still going to be the starter at center. And depending on how Taylor Moton feels, we could have Cameron Irving or Cade Mays replace and start this Giants game on Sunday. So just a few things to note for Christian McCaffrey had the day off. So, anyway, for the Giants, the only thing we know right now is Aaron Robinson, the cornerback, is out. Kayvon Thibodeau is questionable. Wan'Dale Robinson, questionable, wide receiver. John Fano at guard, questionable. Jason Pinnock, cornerback, questionable. So, couple of folks on their injury report that are questionable. But looking at this Giants matchup, I mean, look at how well the Giants played. I mean, Daniel Jones, despite the one interception he threw, Daniel Jones had a solid game. 17 of 21, 188, 2 touchdowns. But the big red flag, Saquon Barkley. Dude debuted this season with 18 carries, 164 yards, and a touchdown. And we suck on run defense. I'm concerned. Saquon Barkley, who's back and is healthy and opens with a 164 rushing yard game and a touchdown to open up the season. I'm concerned, y'all. I'm very concerned with our D-line and our run defense. I mean, you got to remember, in the Browns game between Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, they put 217 yards rushing on us. That's a problem. That's a big problem. That is a huge problem. So, big thing to watch out for. We got to be able to stop the run. Saquon Barkley, he's going to bring it. After that type of game and, looking at the scouting report, seeing how weak our run defense is, I expect the Giants to run the ball all over us. I expect them to run all over us. So we got to tighten up. I mean, I know a lot of folks, after the Browns game were like, oh, we lost to Jacoby Brissett. Let me refresh y'all's memory. We lost to Daniel Jones and the Giants last season. So us being, we lost to Jacoby Brissett, we need to stop saying that. Because we didn't even beat Daniel Jones and the Giants last year. And our losing streak still continues. At this point, we don't need to be talking jack about any quarterback until we at least can win a game. And Cleveland is still a very good team, despite not being able to throw Deshaun Watson into the lineup right now. Let's not kid ourselves. Come on now. Let's not kid ourselves. Oh, we lost to this quarterback and that quarter. Right now, we need to win a game, period. We can't even win a game, period. And right now, that's between last season and now, that's 8 straight. So, in all seriousness, they're coming in with Daniel Jones. Might not be an elite quarterback, but we lost to that same quarterback last season. Hello? So, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but right now we're the last to be talking down to any quarterback. I'm just saying. Normally I would easily pick this as a win, but after how we did and after how the Giants did, hold up. Hold up. On offense, really Saquon Barkley on the wide receiver core, really Kenny Golladay and Sterling Shepard stand out the most to me. I know Sterling Shepard had the receiving touchdown, but those are the two names in the wide receiver core that stick out the most to me. And I guess there is Kadarius Toney as well. But yeah, those are the two main names that stick out the most to me. And of course they have a rookie offensive tackle, Evan Neal. Oh yeah, I bet he's going to be quite tested. Kayvon Thibodeau, like I said, he's questionable, so not sure if he'll be playing in this game. But I hear they still have a pretty tough D-line. Let me look back at that Titans game. Well, Daniel Jones got sacked 5 times, so hopefully our D-line can get some sort of pressure. And Tennessee, they only gave up 1 sack, but I'm hoping the Panthers D-line got to get some pressure on the pass rush as well as stop the run, stop Saquon Barkley. Like, that's going to be so important in this game. That's going to be extremely important in this game. Oh, and also want to mention that Saquon Barkley had 18 carries in that game. Compared to Christian McCaffrey's 10 carries. Yeah. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Just thought I'd throw that out there. I'm just saying. But as far as on defense, I mean, there's not really anybody specific. I mean, Xavier McKinney, but there's not anybody just off the top of my head on the Giants defense that stands out to me. Let me look at what the report says on the Panthers website just to get a better idea. So let's look at some history. Carolina is 7-5 all time against the Giants. Current streak, Giants, like I said, Giants won last year. And Carolina last faced the Giants in New York in 2021, losing 25-3. 25-3. So like I said, and that was last year. We can't be talking a whole lot of garbage about the Giants right now. They're 1-0. We're not. And when they last played us, they beat us convincingly too. 25-3. That's convincingly. Continuing. Let's see. Know your foe. The Giants return home with their first Week 1 win since 2016. The Giants had 238 total rushing yards in Week 1, led by Saquon Barkley. Just The Browns put up 217 rushing yards on them. Just had to throw that in there. Between Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, they put up 217 on us. So the fact that the Giants put up 238 rushing yards on the Titans, yeah, we're in trouble. The Giants recorded big hits against two-time Pro Bowler Derrick Henry throughout the contest and stymied the league's top rusher 2 seasons ago to 82 yards on 21 carries, only averaging 3.9 yards per carry. And not only that, the Giants kept the Titans from getting many chunk plays off, as the Tennessee Titans' longest play from scrimmage went for 31 yards. Wow. So for not knowing anybody specific that stands out on the defense, that's kind of a big deal. It's kind of a big deal. So we may not want to sleep on this Giants defense. Let's see. So current trends. So Robbie Anderson, there was a highlight of Robbie Anderson's 75-yard touchdown catch. And of course there were positive points, scoring 17 points in the fourth quarter. But like I said, that's something that we got to do more across the entire game and not just the last quarter, because our first half was trash. Let's look at the current rankings right now. Whew. Okay. So looking at the offense, total yards a game, Carolina ranked 28th. The Giants ranked 9th. Rushing yards per game, Carolina ranks 31st. How the heck are we ranked 31st in rushing yards per game, having Christian McCaffrey, Deontay Foreman, and Chuba Hubbard? How is that? How are we ranked 31st right now? Like, you have one of, if not the best running back in the league. How the heck are we going into week 2 ranked 31st in rushing yards per game? How? Somebody help me understand that. Somebody, please, I'm begging you, help me to understand that. You have Christian McCaffrey, Deontay Foreman, and Chuba Hubbard. Y'all got to give me a moment. Hold on. Give me a moment. I need a moment. I need a moment. How are we ranked 31st in the league right now in rushing yards per game? I just... Rushing yards per game, Carolina ranked 31st. The Giants ranked 1st. Net passing yards a game, Carolina ranked 20th. The Giants ranked 29th. Sacks allowed, Carolina ranked 25th. The Giants ranked 29th. Third down efficiency, Carolina is ranked 19th. New York is ranked 30th. So maybe, hopefully, we can consistently continue drives more so than the Giants, but we'll see. Points per game. Carolina ranked 9th. New York ranked 15th. And let's look at the defensive side of the ball. Total yards allowed per game on defense. Carolina ranked 16th. The Giants ranked 18th. Total rushing yards allowed per game. Carolina ranked 31st. Wow. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. So we are ranked 31st on rushing yards per game on the offense and rushing yards allowed per game on the defense. Both ranked 31st. One from the bottom. Oh. Why is Matt Rule still our coach? Do I have regrets now that we got Ben McAdoo? Whew. Rushing yards allowed per game. Carolina ranked 31st. The Giants ranked 14th. Passing yards allowed per game. Carolina ranked 2nd. That's no surprise. We do well defending the pass overall. The Giants ranked 23rd. We need to expose that. We need to expose that badly. For sacks on defense, both the Giants and the Panthers are tied at rank 23. Third down efficiency on defense. The Panthers ranked 20th. The Giants ranked 7th. Takeaways. Carolina ranked 26, which we have no takeaways. The Giants are ranked 14th. They have 1 takeaway. And then points allowed per game, the Panthers are ranked 7th. The Giants are ranked 16th. What is ultimately the issue here? The ranked 31st on run defense and rushing yards per game. It is clear. The 2 biggest things that Carolina need to do, one on offense, run the ball. Run the ball. I better not see another game of ours going into the second half with less than 15 carries. We went into the first half with only 6 total carries. 6 total. 6 total rushing attempts. That better not happen again. That better not happen again. Ben McAdoo, you better not dare do that again. And Baker Mayfield, you know what? If you have to, audible out of it as much as you can into a run play if you have to. You know what? Bump what Ben McAdoo says if you have to. There is no excuse for only 6 total rushing attempts in the first half. No excuse. No excuse. And then you decide late in the game in the fourth quarter, oh, now you want to use Christian McCaffrey. That better not happen again for the rest of the season. Run the ball. Run the ball. I better not ever see that again. Hey, Super Trebo, welcome to the stream. Hey, how's it going, Jason? I'm doing good. Hope you are. Do you think the Panthers will go 0-2 or 0-3? Matt Rule could possibly be fired after the first quarter of the season, especially if they get blown out by the Giants. Well, here's the thing, Super Trebo. Honestly, I think if we lose this game, I think there's going to be some words and actions done. But at the same time, you know, we can't look down on the Giants. We have to remember the Giants destroyed us last year, 25-3, and they just came back and beat the Titans by 1 point. We do not need to underestimate the Giants. There may not be a lot of names on that roster that, you know, stand out on paper, but this is a must win. This is a must win. And Daniel Jones had a decent game, and Saquon Barkley tore it up. So I'm a little concerned. We need to take this Giants game seriously. We need to take this Giants game seriously. So and the sad thing about it, we could end up going 0-2 or 0-3. It could happen because we are greatly exposed on our run defense. We got a big, ginormous hole in our run defense. We have no run defense. And we're going into this game after a Saquon Barkley 164-yard rushing game and a touchdown. Yeah, we got a big, ginormous hole in our D-line. I reiterate, the fact that we are ranked 31st on both sides of the ball for rushing yards on offense and rushing yards allowed on defense, we're ranked 31st in the league going into this game. Those two right there are our biggest issues right now. We're not running the ball, and our run defense sucks. So those two things need to be fixed in order for us to even have a shot at winning this game. And like I said, I give Carolina credit. They fought till the very end. I mean, they put up 17 points in the fourth quarter. They fought until the end, and that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. Do they need to do that much earlier? Absolutely. Absolutely, because they looked like crap in the first half. But it's a good sign that they were able to get themselves in position to win the game. It just didn't go our way. That final drive didn't go our way. You know, bad calls and all, it didn't go our way. And the Browns kicked one heck of a field goal. So looking at this Giants matchup, number one purpose on defense, shut down Saquon Barkley at all costs. Make Daniel Jones have to throw the ball and beat us. Right now, we are second on defense in passing yards allowed. We need to shut down Saquon Barkley by any means necessary. Make Daniel Jones have to go to the air. Make him have to go to the air. If we do not shut down Saquon Barkley, we're not winning this game. We're not winning this game. On offense, if we do not run the ball, we're not winning this game. If either one or both of those things don't happen, we're not winning this game. We're not. I just got to keep it real with y'all. I got to keep it real with y'all. We don't shut down Saquon Barkley. If we don't run the ball, give our backs plenty of touches, we're not going to win this game. And the fact that Matt Rule is still okay with Pat Elflein being the starting center, that should be even more evidence why Matt Rule needs to get the boot. Das Boot. Ben McAdoo, dude, you better wake up. You better wake up. We were already doing bad enough with Joe Brady. You're the veteran, actual offensive coordinator. There is no excuse why the run game was non-existent. No, I'm not going to say the run game was bad. The run game was non-existent. Can't say the run game was bad if you don't call run plays. Also, play for the touchdown. Play for the touchdown. We really, with how close we were in the red zone, we really should have played for the touchdown. We should have played for the touchdown. Super Tribo says, what do you think the Panthers should, what do you think they should do to improve the run defense? Well, one of the things that I've been begging for ever since way before the beginning of the season, one, stack that D-line, and two, go out and get a veteran, another veteran edge rusher, and especially a veteran defensive tackle. We could have gotten Ndamukong Suh. Why didn't we not try to go after him? Like, our run defense has been terrible since last year and even the year before. Like, why are we not, getting another one or two big names for our D-line? Because we're not getting any pressure. The one sack that we had was from Damian Wilson, our linebacker. We need some D-line help. Getting somebody like a Ndamukong Suh. Because right now, we need some help on the D-line. I mean, even with Brian Burns working as hard as he is, we're not getting any pass rush. We're not stopping the run. There's no singling out anybody. The whole D-line is struggling. Hard to single somebody out when the whole D-line is struggling, and the results are evidence of that. But yeah, I've been wanting for us to focus on improving the D-line for a while, especially in the interior. Shoot, Star Latulele. I would have been fine with him bringing back Mario Addison, going after Ndamukong Suh. You know, I wish we could have gotten Carlos Dunlap before he went with the Chiefs. We got a big hole in the defensive line. We need help on the D-line. In order for this season to get better, especially on defense and especially on stopping the run, we need to improve the D-line. We got a lot of young guys and not much veteran presence on that D-line. We need some help on the D-line. And like I said, I'm not going to single anybody out because the whole D-line has been struggling. The whole D-line has been struggling. Phil Snow, you might want to think about some, trying out some different packages, maybe loading the box. You might want to consider figuring out some more different packages because what we were doing against the Browns, that won't working. And then we're going into another game that also has a great running back who is now healthy, that can potentially put a clinic on us. Because you know what? Despite the struggles, I think Baker Mayfield will be fine. He has that killer instinct. He has that never quit attitude. He has that, I'm going to do whatever it takes to try to get my team in position to win. And that he did. Him, Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson. And like I said, I will say it once again. We need to stop dissing Robbie Anderson. That man has been a deep threat his whole career, and that hasn't changed. And I know that he is capable of getting it done. And he showed that in the Cleveland game. Hey, Rally Sport, what's up? Hi, Blitz. I watched the Panthers-Brown game. Baker fumbled a couple of times. Robbie Anderson's good. Baker just needs to get used to how the Panthers play. He's good. Yeah, the snap exchanges between him and Pat Elflein were just pretty bad. Thankfully, Baker Mayfield's awareness, as well as Christian McCaffrey's awareness to pounce on the ball, definitely, were really good for what it's worth. But I don't see why they're not considering starting Bradley Bozeman. over Pat Elflein. I really don't understand after a game like that why they're not working him out to start. I really don't get that. Especially being that Bradley Bozeman supposedly is healthy now. And it's such a big deal because the Ravens had to go out and draft a center after losing Bozeman. So I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh yeah, I knew what you meant, Rally Sport. Yeah, I knew what you meant. But I don't get it. I I mean, to be honest, I mean, I really don't know much more to really say other than the keys to this game are we gotta run defense, we gotta run the ball, and we need a pass rush. We need to force Daniel Jones to try to beat us through the air. Rally Sports says some teams were on fire. Chiefs and Bills look so good. Yeah, that they did. That they did. But this is a must-win game. This is a must-win. This is a must-win. Oh yeah, the Saints game. Yeah, that was quite a comeback. That was quite a comeback. But then again, y'all were going up against the Falcons, who have been since that Super Bowl are kind of known for botching leads. So I can't say that I'm too surprised that y'all came back. I mean, after all, you remember what they did in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. I mean, they were up by 28 and still lost. So that's the Falcons for you. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody else has anything they want to mention, but oh, CJ Henderson, bro. CJ Henderson. Yo, we gotta talk. We gotta talk. CJ. CJ. Dude, you gotta get your head right, man. You gotta get your head right. That play, that pass interference, dude, that was so unnecessary. Like literally all you had to do was look back and look for the ball. Not to mention you had another defender there for help. Dude, you didn't even have to clothesline the dude. Come on, CJ, you're better than that, man. You're better than that. You gotta focus, man. Uh yeah, agree. It's the Falcons. Juju did good for the Chiefs. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard. Had quite a connection there. Not to mention, I mean, they roughed up on the Cardinals. I mean, 44 points. Can't say that I'm too surprised. But according to the ESPN matchup predictor, they're favoring us to beat the Giants, but honestly, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. I mean, I'm sitting here trying to think of what my score prediction would be, but honestly, I don't know, y'all. I really don't know. I I really don't know. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Super Treybo says, I think this game Sunday will tell the story of our season, Jason. If we win, it may get better. If we lose, it may go downhill again. Honestly, Super Treybo, if we lose this game, some action has to be taken. Some action has to be taken. It might be drastic, but if we lose this game, some action has to be taken. Like immediately. Rally Sports says the Giants. I don't rate Daniel Jones quarterback. Not good. Is that he? Is that I think you win that one. Um. Well, here's the thing, Rally Sport. Here's the thing. Number one, you have to also remember we lost to said Daniel Jones and the Giants last year by a score of 25-3. We couldn't even put up a touchdown on the Giants last season. We couldn't even put up a touchdown against them last season. And secondly, now that they got a healthy Saquon Barkley, who put up 164 yards rushing and a touchdown on the Titans in their comeback win, whereas in the Browns put up 217 rushing yards between Chubb and Hunt on us. Yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried. Rally Sports says, yeah, I remember, but different teams now, Blitz. You got Baker Mayfield. Barkley is good at running. But that's the thing. We still got the same terrible run defense since the last 2 seasons, though. We've sucked on run defense for the last couple of seasons, and now it's translating into this season. Ain't nothing really changed that much. Plus the fact that we have a healthy Christian McCaffrey, and that Browns game, a first half of only 6 total rushing attempts, that's not good. We got the folks, but where was the play calling at? There is no excuse why we should have only had 6 total rushing attempts in that first half. Yeah, I'm concerned. I'm concerned. Because, like I said, our run defense has been crap for a long time. And the thing is, they didn't even have Saquon Barkley last season against us. And yet we lost 25-3. Supposed number 2 defense of the league in the league, and we lost 25-3. I'm just saying. This is not going to be a gimme game. It's not a gimme game. Not to mention they just beat a good Tennessee Titans team. A comeback win at that. Not to mention Daniel Jones had a pretty dang on good game. Not a whole lot of yards, but he had 2 touchdowns. Yeah, he threw a pick, but he had 2 touchdowns. I'm not so much worried about Daniel Jones. I'm worried about Saquon Barkley. I think if we can shut down Saquon Barkley, force Daniel Jones to throw, I think we'll be fine. We lead second in the league in on defense for passing yards allowed. So I think we'll be fine. If we can force them to throw the ball, I think we'll be fine. But we have to shut down Saquon. We have to. If we don't shut down the run from Saquon Barkley, we're not winning this game. If we can't stop the run, we're not winning this game. If we don't run the ball, actually make the attempts and run the ball, we're not going to win this game. Yes, I understand that we came back late, but we should have been running the ball in the first half. If there's anything like that similar that happens in this game, we're not winning this game. And that's me. That's coming from the heart. That's me just keeping it real. There's no reason with the personnel that we have, the running back core that we have, why we shouldn't be running the ball. Ranked 31st on both sides of the ball when it comes to rushing, that's unacceptable. Especially when you have a built offensive line built mainly for the run, especially with the drafting of Ikem Ekwonu. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. So, if anything, Coach Matt Rule is going to continue to be tested. Ben McAdoo, you're definitely going to be tested with your play calling. Only 19 total rushing attempts, only 6 in the first half. You got to be kidding me. And you're an experienced offensive coordinator compared to Joe Brady. No excuse. No excuse. Honestly, y'all, I really don't have a score prediction. Like, I'm so distraught from how we lost that first game and certain stats that stand out. I don't even know if I can come up with a score prediction for y'all. Like I literally don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. So you know what? I'm gonna set my expectations low. I'm gonna set my expectations low, and I'm gonna just throw out a 14-10. 14-10 Carolina. I'm gonna just throw that out. 14-10 Carolina. Because I'm not gonna set my expectations high in this game. I can't. I can't. Because there's certain things that are happening that are making me concerned. The play calling is a concern. Not running the ball is a concern. Not getting the help that we need on the D line and our run defense and pass rush suffering because of it, I'm concerned. Offensive line gave up 4 sacks. Yeah, I have my concerns there, but just honestly, the lack of a run game and the run defense and lack of pass rush are my biggest concerns. Like, I'm not even going to be that harsh on the O-line, to be honest with you. Because, like I said, with Ikem Ekwonu, he won some and he lost some. And he's only going to get better the more reps that he gets and, you know, the talent that he'll be facing. Super Trebo says, one may be positive. Remember Tom Brady first game with the Bucs was horrible. Even worse than Baker 3 quarters. So you never know. Baker may be okay. It was week 1. Actually, I didn't look at any. Let me see the score of that, because I actually don't even know. I know they won, but oh yeah, that's right. They played the Cowboys. Brady, 18 of 27, 212 yards, touchdown and a pick. Got sacked twice. Baker specifically, I'm not disappointed so much with Baker Mayfield. I thought he had an okay game. He had quite a bit of a burst in the fourth quarter. That's where we really saw Baker Mayfield really come alive. But my thing is this. Looking at that score, 19-3, Tom Brady is one guy. But look at all the other factors, though. They ran the ball 33 times. We only ran the ball 19 times. Fournette had 21 carries, 127 yards. And guess what? The defense shut down Ezekiel Elliott. 10 carries, 52 yards. So, despite, and not only that, look at the pressure that they got. 2 sacks on Dak, 2 sacks on Cooper Rush, and Dak threw a pick. Super Trebo, I have to be honest with you. The comparison between the two is kind of night and day when you look at the games that were played. It's kind of night and day. I'm just saying, it's kind of night and day. Because at the end of the day, we can't base it too much on one player's performance. That's my main thing. We can't base it too much on one player's performance. But we'll see what happens. And not to mention, we had a lot of balls batted down at the line. We had five batted balls. Super Trebo says, you meant Tom Brady's debut with the Bucs when he won Super Bowl 2020. His first game with the Bucs was horrible against the Saints. Well, yeah, they opened up against the Saints, if I remember correctly, and lost. I mean, I mean, definitely not one of his best games. I mean, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. I mean, yeah, there were turnovers, of course. There were definitely turnovers. But I mean, looking at that game, sacked 3 times. Mm. 26 total rushing attempts. But it's like I said though, like I get as far as this specific point, I get what you're saying and such. The only thing that I'm saying is right now we have a much bigger set of problems than Baker Mayfield. Like as of right now, Baker Mayfield is not really an issue right now, Super Trevo. That's my point. Baker Mayfield ain't the issue. Like he ain't the issue. Baker Mayfield just got here. But the run defense has been terrible the last 2 seasons, with this one being a bad start in season 3. And we came into this game with only 19 total carries. That's not normal. With only 6 total rushing attempts in the first half, that is not normal. I can't even think of a game off the top of my head that's happened. Like that's not normal. So, do I believe Baker Mayfield will be fine? Yeah, I think so. But right now, he ain't the problem. We got even bigger problems than Baker Mayfield. Like, even with the early struggles, he still came back and helped put the team into position to win. My big issue is looking at this on offense, rushing yards per game ranked 31st, and on defense, rushing yards allowed per game ranked 31st. Those shoot, I'm more concerned with those than Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield will be just fine. I think he will be just fine and dandy. But D-line needs to be fixed. Play calling needs to be fixed. Coach Matt Rule needs to not make dumb decisions. And we cannot underestimate this Giants team. We can't underestimate this Giants team at all. Or else we're going to get our butts. We're going to get our bums kicked. Just like they kicked their bums last season, 25-3. I think folks keep forgetting that. We didn't just only lose to them last year. We got trounced by them. 25-3. Couldn't even put a touchdown up against them. Do I think we'll get a touchdown up against them this time? Yeah, absolutely. But we still haven't gotten any turnovers yet. No turnovers yet. Would have had an interception if CJ Henderson didn't clothesline the receiver, which was such an unnecessary move. He didn't even have to do all that because Xavier Woods was in the area and picked it off. All CJ Henderson had to do was just look back and play for the ball. Not to mention Jacoby Brissett threw that on the run going the opposite direction. That's an easy pick. And CJ Henderson just messed it all up. That wasn't even an accurate throw. Penalties, miscues, batted balls at the line. 5 batted balls at the line. Using Christian McCaffrey not until late in the game. The decision-making has to get better. And like I said, if we lose this game, some action needs to be taken. Whether that means fire Matt Rule or, fire Ben McAdoo, some action needs to be taken. Especially with how, if it's a bad loss, then some action needs to be taken. Plain and simple as that. We cannot lose this game. We cannot lose this game. Oh, Blitz, it's only week 2. No, we cannot lose this game. After how we lost and how we played that first game, we can't lose this game. Because you also have to remember, week 3 is our first division game against the Saints. We cannot lose this game. And right now, the Bucs and the Saints both have a win. Speaking of which, who do the Bucs play next? Who do the Bucs play next? Oh, actually, they do play the Saints. Oh, well, excuse me. So, let's see, who do the Falcons play next? Falcons play the Rams next. See, the Falcons play the Rams next. So this is a good opportunity for Carolina to get a win and be 1-1. And that way the Falcons could potentially be 0-2. And, with the Bucs against the Saints, we got to remember the Saints lately have had the Bucs number. So the Saints could end up going into week 3 2-0. So we got work to do, y'all. And like I said, with the injury report, Taylor Moton was limited. Marquise Haynes didn't practice. Frankie Louvu and Brandon Smith were limited. So we could end up seeing more Henry Anderson, more Amari Barno, Cade Mays, or Cameron Irving could possibly start in place of Taylor Moton. So we'll have to see what happens as the week goes towards Sunday, but I'm nervous. I'm a little nervous. But I think we're going to get things right and win. Another thing I wanted to point out was apparently Matt Rule says that he's going to give Christian McCaffrey every Wednesday off to give him an extra day of recovery. Okay, Matt Rule, that's fine and all, but what good does all that do if you're not going to use the man come game time? He's your best player on offense. See, Matt Rule don't know what he's doing. Matt Rule has no idea what he's doing. Like, this dude, I feel like, honestly, I feel like it'll be a miracle if we have a winning season under Matt Rule. I think it'll be a miracle, to be honest with y'all. That's just me keeping it real. But anyway, that's all I got. But my prediction, 14-10 Panthers. Hopefully we can pull it off. Hopefully the run defense shows up. We can shut down Saquon Barkley, which is a must. Hopefully we can force Daniel Jones to try to beat us in the air, get some pressure on the quarterback. Hopefully get some turnovers. We haven't gotten a single turnover yet. And we need to run the ball. We need to run the ball. We have 3 running backs. We need to run the ball. And then open up that pass game. But that's all that I have for this preview. Those that are catching the archive later, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what y'all's keys to victory for Carolina as they have their first away game against the New York Giants this Sunday. Let me know what you think the keys are to success, and let me know what your score predictions are. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share the stream. Y'all know the deal. And hit that notification bell as well. Thank you so much for watching. Keep pounding, no matter what. Keep pounding. Some way, somehow, we're going to get through this. But for another Carolina Panthers talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube, I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. I'm about to chill and unwind. I hope everybody else enjoys their evening and has a blessed day tomorrow. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace and God bless.